All right, good morning. Thank you all for coming out. My name is Allison Johnson. I'm the Executive Director with Housing Justice League. We are here this morning on these circumstances of what is happening in the city of Atlanta, particularly with our tenants and our residents who are continuing to have to live in communities that are not well kept, they're not maintained, and residents are still having to fight for decent conditions. Many of you know over a year ago, the House Bill 404 was passed, and it deemed that people had the opportunity to live in habitable homes. As we see here today, that is not happening. There's been no accountability. There's been no one here to tell the landlords that this is an unjust living situation and tenants should not live in these type of conditions. So we are here this morning standing with residents. You will hear some of their stories. They will tell you what it's like to be here. They will tell you what it's like to be here with utilities shut off. They will tell you what it's like to be here without security. They'll tell you what it's like to be here with the roofs caving in. So this is a situation that should never occur in the city of Atlanta. We don't have any accountability when it comes to landlords. The burden is always on the residents, and it's not fair. And it's today we are going to stand firm with the residents because we want a solution to this. This is not right. Tenants should not have to continue to live in these conditions. So again, this morning, thank you for coming out. We want you to hear from these residents, and we want to make a move on this because we're going to take this issue straight to the landlords, straight to the people who are accountable for it, and we're also going to take this issue to City Council because this is far too gone. This has gone far too long. Again, my name is Allison, and I'm going to turn it over to the tenants. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Montavious Vaughn. I stay in Bowden Chine houses. We've been staying here for like 2 months now. We've been suffering a lot. The roof caved in on us while we was in that room sleep. It's a lot of shooting, a lot of drama. Since we've been here, it's mold in our bathroom. It's mold from our ceiling. It's mold in our tub. The water do not barely work sometimes. The office never open. Nobody never be here to support us. No security, no nothing. How we supposed to pay our bills if nobody never inside the office? We don't got no proof or none of that because we don't got no camera and nothing to show that they don't come out here and check on their property. Ever since we called 22 Extra News, they have not been back out here to check on their property.
Can you spell your first and last name?
Montavious Vaughn, Montavious. Last name Vaughn, Vaughn.
Good morning. My name is Toriana Good, and I am a resident of Bowden townhomes. The living conditions here are horrible. My roof is also caving in. I have water damage in my apartment as well. Management is never here. I haven't been able to pay rent this month because no one has been at the leasing office. Property is not up to keeping. Waste is all over the place, all over the property where they haven't been sending away trash people out here to empty the trash. They just sent somebody to empty the trash this week because of, I guess, us complaining about the trash all over the sidewalks. Children can't come out to play because of the filth. You know, it's just been heartbreaking since I've been here. You know what I'm saying? It's been a headache. Me having to get up and go to work and then have to come back home to this mess. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Amber Miller. I've been here about 2 to 3 months, and ever since I've been here, it's just not okay. Like he said, like Montavious said, the landlord haven't been here. Our roof fell in, mold is going on the toilet. The side of our box is leaking every time we get in the shower. My mom, she fell down the stairs. That could be a lawsuit right there, off that just alone. We got kids out here, kids that stand in our building, and mold just going around, fungus growing. We had fungus growing out our ceiling to the point that it grew so big that our ceiling fell in. That's sad, and we need somebody to do something about that. We do. We need somebody to do something real, and take action on it. Thank you.
Sure. Hello, I'm Haley. I stayed in that apartment right there with my friend, and well, our stuff got taken out. It got moved out without consent, without asking, without even like a 3-day or hour heads up. When I came into my apartment, my stuff was being picked up and thrown outside in the front. So was my friends. And then the door was locked, and we were just out here. We had to figure it out from there. And I think this was on a Sunday. With nothing. And we've been here for more than a month, more than 2 months. I've spoke to people who have worked here when they were here, and so it just doesn't make sense, because now we're at ground zero when we were paying actual rent, and we lost a lot of our stuff: furniture, clothes, hygiene, everything. What we had is what they threw out, and we had to sort through that. So now we're just trying to figure out where we're going to live now, That's it.
All right, hello. My name is Matthew Nursey, N as in Nicholas, U-R, S-E-Y. I'm an organizer and policy advocate with the Housing Justice League. And we're going to invite you all to speak to residents, speak to tenants on your own, hear their perspective, their experiences, know the truth. And enough is enough. You'll go around here, you can see the property has let these conditions get unlivable. These have been deplorable conditions for far too long, and now they are engaging in an illegal mass eviction. Tenants without power, tenants without water, tenants with mold and caving in roofs and flooding, unable to access their mail. I feel like that's, there's some sort of federal crime there with not allowing, tenants to get their mail. It's absurd. So enough is enough. We know City Council member Jason Dozier, this is his district. He's made a commitment to, be involved in this and help the tenants. But we're calling on the rest of local government. The county, we need to put a moratorium on evictions. 1,000 evictions a month are carried out. 1,000 evictions a week are carried out alone in Fulton County. All right. And so, we have all these tenants who are saying that they've paid their rent. I mean, how many people are getting evicted right now that are being illegally evicted, that have paid all their rent, have done nothing wrong, but simply because they are a tenant and the odds are stacked against them? The way Georgia is set up with poor tenant protections and protections for business, protections for landlords, they are unable to fight in court and unable to get representation and win these cases. And so a lot of people are being evicted, predetermined outcomes, rubber stamps, when they have done nothing wrong. So Atlanta has a rising issue of unsheltered folks. This is only exacerbating the issue, okay? And for those watching at home, 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Almost each and every one of us is one emergency away from being in a situation where we could be out on the street. And so we're asking people to pay attention, keep up with what we're doing here at Housing Justice League. We're calling on the city of Atlanta to, look into Edward Bolden and Bolden Homes. They have a history of letting complexes go into disrepair and illegally evicting people. So I encourage you to talk to the residents. Thank you all for coming out. And
I have some questions
Yeah.
for either you or her.
Allison, want to take it? Sure.
All right. Did you spell your name, so your first and last name, and your title?
First name is Allison, A-L-I-S-O-N. Last name Johnson, J-O-H-N-S-O-N. Title, Executive Director with Housing Justice League.
Okay, so Channel 2 reporter Aaron Rogers did a story Sunday, and were you expecting the conditions you saw?
Absolutely not. Absolutely, it's totally different when you hear, but when you come on to site and you are firsthand witnessing something of this kind of nature, it is an atrocity, and it is uncalled for. We've had this situation happen with Forest Cove, and as we said in the beginning, that there are so many more Forest Coves in this city, and we thought that passing an ordinance that will hold negligent landlords accountable would help. Nothing has happened. As you can see today, that these properties that are in despair in these districts, We need to think about the people who are representing the interest of the people.
Do you see similar patterns at other properties in Atlanta you work with? What are those practices?
Yeah, similar properties such as Forest Cove, such as Fairburn Gardens, you name them, they're there. What ends up usually happens is the tenants become displaced. They are given a portable voucher and to go and fend for themselves. And a lot of those tenants that we've worked at have become unhoused, mainly because there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to live, and people won't accept Section 8 portable vouchers at this time.
Couple more questions. In Georgia, we have the Safe at Home Act. Does that go far enough? How can it protect those tenants?
What we are grateful for what we have right now, but of course it doesn't go far enough because here we are. You look around and it'll tell you there needs to be a definitive definition of what habitability is. Because if landlords are thinking that this is a definition of habitability, we've lost. Our tenants are continuing to lose every day. So yeah, this bill needs to continue to go further than what it is.
Two more questions. How is Mr. Bowden getting away with this?
There has been lack of transparency and no accountability. There's no oversight to the actual ordinance that was passed to hold landlords accountable. So therefore, those loopholes, they're able to slip through those loopholes.
And speaking of accountability, how will you hold Mr. Bowden accountable?
If we have to go to Mr. Bowden's home, we'll go and pitch a tent at Mr. Bowden's home. We're going to go to the offices of where they have their offices, and we're going to present them with a letter from the tenants that are demanding better quality housing, the utilities be shut on, and no more illegal evictions. And if they don't answer to those demands, then we're going to escalate.
All right. Is there anything else you would like to add to that analysis?
No, I just think people should recognize that there are so many more Bolden townhomes in the city of Atlanta, and that so many renters are being displaced with nowhere to go.
And how many, you said mass evictions, how many exactly, how many residents are facing eviction?
Maybe that's at this particular property?
Yes.
I'm not really sure about the number of amount. Maybe one of the residents can answer that.
Do you know roughly the ballpark?
About 50.
No, I'll say about 75%.
75%, okay.
75% of people are
Oh,
getting
you
mass
have to
eviction.
come up to.
I feel as if
Go.
75% people here is getting mass eviction. I feel like only 25% is not getting involved in that situation is because they've been here longer than all of us. They've been here 3+ years. So I feel as if that's wrong.
And how much notice, if any, were you given that you were getting evicted?
They gave us a paper on a door that you can just type up, and it said you have to leave immediately within 48 hours.
48 hours
Yes,
notice
ma'am.
to leave your home.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have anywhere to go?
No, ma'am. We don't. Exactly. This is the letter that came on our door,
It wasn't even delivered to you? It was just
No.
left on your door?
and anybody can type this up. It's no name on here, nobody name, not even the Bolden Townhome names.
And I only ask this because I know people are going to ask. I know a couple of you mentioned that you aren't able to get inside an office to pay rent. Is there an online way to pay rent? Is there-
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
They're not,
So you have to come up. Just make sure you guys come up.
Bolden is not accepting calls from anyone. They're declining everybody's call. No one's never here in the management office, so that's our problem. We can't get anybody in the management office to answer any questions, do any maintenance or anything. They're never here. So it's just a lose-lose situation with us.
One time I was trying to talk to the new person, they shut the door in my face being disrespectful. So that's why I brought it to the news.
All right, thank you all for speaking.
I'm sorry, I was late.
Are you doing fine?
My name is
Just say your-
Triana,
Just say your name, spell both of them.
Triana Griffin, Treauana. Last name Griffin, Griffin. Been a resident here for almost a year and a half. Lately, well, me and my kids, I have 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. We've been out of lights for like the last 3 or 4 days. I paid the bill.
But now I've contacted Georgia Power, and now they're saying there's something wrong with the power box, and there's never been nothing wrong with the power box. So tried to talk to the management, but there's nobody there almost every day, except for when they was putting people out a couple days ago. Nobody to answer the phone, nobody to do maintenance. We've been without a sink upstairs in the bathroom. We have to come downstairs to brush our teeth and wash our face. Like I said, there's been no electricity for like 3 days. I got my 2 boys in there. We've been having to use a grill to cook food. I don't really have no family to help. I don't really have nowhere else to go either.
What's going through your head right now?
There's too much. What am I gonna do next? That's all.
Hello, I'm Mercedes McGregor. Mercedes, MERCEDES. Last name McGregor, MCGREGOR. I was one of the first doors that the sheriff made contact with. So I am probably one of the only residents that has paperwork with the complaint that was filed against us as squatters. All of us have been scammed, those who were paying rent or what those for, but I was given a piece of paper that me and the sheriff both signed. So the sheriff didn't have a copy machine, so we had to write this piece of paper twice. Where here in bold letters, it says that I had 3 business days. On my 3rd business day, at 10 o'clock in the morning, I was already getting evicted. When I was already on my way to the sheriff's office with this same pack of documents, my lease, the paper, the money, trace that I have from the person that I gave my money to. So, and when I spoke to the sheriff, so I called because of all the confusion that was going on. After they came and gave us this piece of paper, because I'm the only person that signed this piece of paper with the sheriff. So they filed 1 eviction and tried to put all of us out instead of filing each apartment like they properly should do. So they filed 1, and I'm the closest one. I live right there on 02. So I was the first person to get put out. I called to the sheriff's office. She told me if I didn't get there today by 5 o'clock, which was my 2nd business day, that they'll be back at 10 o'clock. I was served on the 27th. They were back on the 30th, when they should have been back that prior Monday or the next Monday after I attempted, or the 3rd business day if I attempted at 5 o'clock. If I didn't do it, they should have been back by Monday, but they came back in 48 hours. And when I asked the sheriff, they really didn't give me a understanding, because the state law says 3 business days, but you only gave me 48 hours. So when me and the sheriff signed this piece of paper, did the legal binding contract be voided? Because now you and the sheriff, me and the sheriff both have this piece of paper. He signed right here, and I signed at the top. But on the 48 hours, they say, oh, well, it's 48 hours. This paper doesn't say 48 hours in bold letters. It say 3 business days. So I'm the only person that stuff is outside, other than the other 2 people that came behind me when they came back and evicted. So my children, no water, no power, and all my stuff is going outside. I'm a college student, I have children, I have no power, and now I'm homeless.
So they calling you guys squatters?
Yeah, they're calling us squatters.
Why?
I'm not sure.
Because you're paying rent.
Right, we're all paying rent, but this this complaint, it says we're squatters.
And they gave you guys keys to...
All of them. Squatters typically don't have
Keys, right. Squatters don't have keys.
We all got mail coming.
We all had leases. Everybody showed, when the sheriff came, everybody showed them a lease. So that was their problem between the leasing property to figure out where was there a mix between us and the property manager that was here over the property. Say if he knocked on the door, because after I got kicked out, then the leasing office wanted to mediate with everybody else once they realized it was a problem. But I was the only person at that point that had already been kicked out, because the 1 file went to my 1 door. So then the sheriff told them that they had to evict everybody properly, go get an eviction for each door that they want someone out of. So I was the first filing, and I was the only door that they hit with the 1 filing that they made for $50. So if they want everybody out, they would have to file for every door that they want out, not just 1 door with 1 complaint and kick everybody out. That's not proper. So I'm the only person, because it doesn't even say my unit number here. This says to be served to A1. That's the leasing office. I live in 02. So that's where there's a misunderstanding of who was supposed to get this and who was supposed to be properly done. So even if this was eviction, it wasn't done properly. It wasn't done the way it was supposed to. You didn't give us a chance to wait it out. Even if I did, I had all these documents on day 3. I'm a working mom. I can't get up and leave, and because y'all say y'all want this right now, y'all gave me 3 days, so give me my 3 days. But I didn't get that. You came before my 3 days. Now we have an issue. Now my stuff is sitting outside, and you didn't even give me the 3 days that was promised to me on this legal binding contract. So now we have an issue. That's the bigger issue. Because if now they serve this, on top of this, this was a holiday. Usually the sheriff will serve you on a Monday, and then they'll give you 3 business days, and then they'll return on a Friday. But this was Memorial Day, so they came on a Tuesday, thinking that the 3rd day should be Friday, but it's not, because the days shift over. So that's where I'm gonna make the assumption, because we had a holiday. And he said it to me, the sheriff was like, it's a holiday. That has nothing to do with me. They say business days. You're a state office, you're a federal office, you have hours, y'all close at 5 o'clock. I know what a business day is. He said, 10 o'clock. That's not a bid, 48. This piece of paper in bold letters say business days. So at the end of the sheriff's office business day at 5 o'clock, if I didn't give my paperwork, then the next Monday, the next business day, which should have been the Monday, y'all should have been at my door. That would have been fine, because that's the end of our legal contract. But you voided my contract by being here before the day that was supposed to be there, and no one had an answer for me. When I asked the sheriff, well, why would we sign this piece of paper if you want to come back 48 hours later? Then you should have just came back in 48 hours if you could do what you wanted to do. There's no sense of me and you signing this paper if you're going to come back in 48 hours, or if that's the case, because this is state law, this is a state law right here, big bold, in bold letter. It say that it's a Georgia state law. So why say that? You can't make up a law. You can't tell me you 48 hours or 72, and even if I called the sheriff, that's fine. Your verbal doesn't match my contract that I got in my hand. I got a physical piece of paper. Could care less about what the sheriff said on the phone when we signed this piece of paper together.
We have another resident that would like to show y'all.
Hey, how y'all doing?
I just thought you were going to speak to the residents individually.
Oh, it's fine.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Martavius Pope, and I was wondering, like, I had proof, like, when I had went in and paid my money order into the rent office, like, the bogus Bolden group is not their real LLC. So I'm just thinking, like, with the money that me and the rest of the tenants paid, like, how would you, like, I don't understand, like, how would you take our money and then kick us out? Like, I don't understand that. And so I'm quite sure that with the money situation, like, this money that none one of us can get back. Them thousands of dollars that each and every one of us lost. And just to kick us out, like, I don't get that. I don't get it.
It's not fair, Jay.
Spell your first name.
Martavius Pope, Martavious Pope. I walked this money order until in the rent office and paid my rent. And they told me when they came out today that they were evicting a couple of the tenants, that this was a fake Bolden LLC group to who I paid my money to the rent office people to.
Not only that, a lot of the landlord didn't give a lot of people a lease. She lied and had us bring in money orders for a lease.
Say that again.
Hello, I'm Cedrica Chapman. The landlord was a bogus landlord. She allowed a lot of us to move in here under the impression that she would give us a lease. She also had us pay her to receive the lease, which I've never in my life heard of that. But she took $500 cash and had us come back to give her $200 more for keys for our doors.
Do you know what her name was?
Shannon Howard, which is a bogus name. She don't even. Well, right. It's bogus. It's bogus.
Do you know her real name?
No, I don't.
I'm sorry?
What is it? Well, we must have just found out. Yeah, so You know, she have all of our legal credentials. We don't have anything legal of her. I think that is very unfair. And I need to know what the law is going to do about that. How do we protect our identity after this? She could do God knows what from here on, you know, which is not right because we are fighting to get our stuff in order so that we can have better futures with our family and children. But now this lady has run off with everything about us. She could do anything. I think that needs to be addressed immediately. And not only that, we need playgrounds. I feel she wasn't even doing her job as far as keeping the property clean. We have to get up, and we're the tenants. We pay a big rent now. We have to come out here and clean our own property. You know, we have mold in our houses. You know, the light people just come and clip lights whenever they get ready and choose. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just not right the way that they are doing us. And I feel just because we are not as wealthy as all others, that does not mean that we should have to live this way.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being with us.
Thank you all for coming out. Again, just talk to the residents if you want some more information. Thanks. Thanks, Matt.
Thank y'all.
Good. To figure out how I can work with you all in this area. I live right around the corner.
Thank you again for the problem.